Attention, prisoner 903-8970, you're up for parole.
American Arts Radio presents live from Chisel Multimedia Studios, Comics on Parole in Hollywood South. Here's your host, Dan Glazer.
Welcome to my last Comics on Parole show. This is my farewell Comics on Parole show. There will be no more by me done, but I did turn it over to our last guest on the show, which was Tom Paris of the Savannah Comedy Club. He will be taking over the show. And that'll be soon, I imagine, Matt, won't it?
Yes, it should be real soon.
Okay, next month, hopefully next month. So, hey, Matt, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, very good.
So I took the family out for Thanksgiving, and we went to a restaurant, and so the waitress asked my wife, would you like to order the turkey? My wife pointed at me and said, no, I brought my own turkey. She pointed at me and said, I brought my own turkey. And then, the holiday seasons are hard on me, Matt. You know why? Because that's when I have to start all my holiday shoplifting. And it's hard to shoplift for family and friends. You never know what to steal. And it never fails after the holidays. A friend or relative will call you up and say, hey, remember that gift you gave me for Christmas? You have the receipt. I'd like to return it. I said, no, I don't have the receipt. Just take the gift to Walmart, set the gift down, grab something else, and run really fast. So it was my birthday a few months ago.
Oh, yeah?
And my son came downstairs. He said, happy birthday, Dad. But he didn't hand me a card and he didn't hand me a gift. Do your kids get you a card and a gift?
Every once in a while.
So I said to my son, where's my card and where's my gift? He said, if you go to Target, your card's on aisle 5, your gift's on aisle 10, here's some coupons, knock yourself out. So anyway, so I went to perform at another comedy. I'm really not doing that much stand-up anymore.
No.
I'd rather be home watching Netflix and Prime Video. I just don't like going out there. But I was performing at a club the other night, Matt. And the comedy club owner that owns the club is really cheap. So after my set, I went up to him, I said, when can I start getting paid for telling my jokes? He goes, do you work at a daytime job you get paid at? I said, yes. He goes, tell your jokes at work. You're supposed to laugh at these, Mike. I don't have any audience here. You're supposed to laugh. Matt, I asked my wife, I said, does writing new jokes hurt my stand-up? And she said, no, but telling them does. So anyway, I got up to shave this morning, Matt, and I noticed I was out of shaving cream. So I yelled downstairs to my wife. I said, do you have any? Can I borrow your shaving cream? I don't have any. I'm out of it. She said, yeah, look in the cabinet. So a few minutes later, I got dressed, went downstairs. My wife looked at me and said, you didn't shave. I thought you were going to use my shaving cream. I said, yeah, look how smooth my legs are. I got 1 million of them. I thought we were going to... Anyway, so I'm just kind of making this up as I go. So anyway, have you met my wife?
Yes.
Have you met my girlfriend?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll bring her next... If I do another show, I'll bring... So I've actually been happily married. So anyway, I was... So I told you about the shaving cream, didn't I? I've been happily married 32 years. My wife's been happily married 15. And the sex was great as long as it was consensual. My wife said to me, I love it when you make love to me while I'm sleeping. I say, why do you say that? She goes, at least I can dream I'm having good sex. My wife, did I ever tell you this? My wife almost ran off with an Uber driver. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
Yeah, but she broke up with him because when she called him, he came too quickly. And I post a lot of jokes online about my wife and about my family, my wife and about our marriage. My wife said to me, Dan, I want you to post as many jokes you can online about me and about our marriage. I said, finally, you realize these are jokes of love. She said, no, my lawyer says they're admissible in court. I was laying in bed with my wife the other day, and I said, "What's up?" She said, "Nothing. That's the problem." So you know what she said? I'm getting a little R-rated, not R, maybe PG, but you know, my wife said to me, "Dan, you know, when I look at your weenie, it reminds me of the company that makes Windows computers." I said, "Why is that?" She said, "Because it's micro and soft." Does your wife talk to you this way? Does she ever talk to you this way?
Sometimes.
I was passing by. You're not old enough to be on Viagra yet. I'm not on it, but I'm thinking about it. I was passing by a doctor's office the other day, and this is a true story. Above the door there was a banner, and I'm not making this up. It said Viagra, $1 per pill, which is really cheap because my wife charges me too. And you know, I had sex the other day. About 6 months ago, I had made love to my wife. The next morning she woke up, she goes, "Dan, I just want you to know, last night was real. I was not pretending. It was real." I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, I really did fall asleep." And you know, you've never seen me do stand-up. This is the first time you've ever heard me tell my jokes, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, you know, I came to the conclusion I only come up with one good joke a year. And I'm sorry, I come up with my best jokes during sex, which means I come up with one good joke a year. I gave away the punchline. So anyway, I have a 91-year-old mother and twin sister live down the street from me. They'd never seen me do stand-up before, so I picked them up and I took them to see me do stand-up at a major comedy club, Matt. After the set, I went up to my mother and I said, "How'd you like my jokes, Mom?" She said, "You know, Dan, it's never too late to get a medical degree." I said, "You know, Mom, I've been thinking about quitting stand-up anyway." She said, "How can you quit something you never started?" So anyway, now with the economy's not too good, it's getting, my son, when he went off to college, he asked me, he goes, "What should I major in, Dad?" I said, "How about mass communications?" And he said, Dad, I can't major in mass communications." I said, "Why not?" He goes, "I'm not Catholic." Do you get it?
Yes.
If you have to explain it, it doesn't work.
Right.
That doesn't really ever work. So when he got out of college, it was really hard getting a job. But finally he got a job. He called me up and said, "Dad, I can't believe it. I finally got a paying job." I said, "Great, what is it?" He goes, "Jury duty." I don't know. There was another joke that came to my mind I wanted to tell you about, and now I can't remember what it is. But anyway, so it is getting hard to get a job. And it's very difficult getting a job, especially at my age. So I took up robbing banks for a living.
Yeah.
So the first bank I went to, I slid a note to the teller and said, "This is a stick-up." Oh, no, before that, I took up being a robber. I need to get rid of these jokes. None of these jokes are any good. The joke goes like this. I might as well tell you because we might as well waste time. The joke goes like this. So I can't remember my jokes. How do my jokes go? I can't even remember anything. That's a good thing about dementia. You meet new people every day.
Yeah.
And it's not getting older that bothers me, Matt. It's not the fact that I'm getting gray hair, or I can't hold my liquor or my pee-pee, and I got to wear Depends. What bothers me is the time I've wasted. There's an old saying, "It's too bad youth has to be wasted on the young." In other words, if I knew then what I know now, I'd want to start over, Matt. Would you like to start over, Matt, if you could?
Sometimes.
Would you change everything if you could start over?
Maybe so.
But Matt, it's not getting older that bothers me. What happens? But if I wanted to start over, I wouldn't want to start over as a baby, Matt. I want to start over from the very beginning. I want to start over as a young spermatozoa. See, I remember life before I was born, Matt. I remember one night going on a blind date with my father, and the next morning leaving with my mother. And when I was a young spermatozoa, I wasn't very popular. All the other spermatozoas used to swim around me saying, "Chromosome, Danny's missing a chromosome." And I didn't have many spermatozoa friends, and a friend ever came, they were supposed to meet me, they never showed up on time. And when they finally showed up, I said, "Hey, Jack, you late?" You get it? Hey, Jack. And I wasn't very good with the spermatozoa girls, but there was one I liked. Her name was Mary. I swam over to her one night. I said, "Hey, Mary, I hear the weather's nice outside. You want to come?" The Harmony Booking Network, this is kind of a religious. I don't know if they're going to like these jokes or not. They're kind of edgy, but they're not too racy. No four-letter words or anything. It's more suggestible. So anyway, but if I was a robber, Matt, if I was a robber, I wouldn't use a gun. I would use the loudest microphone I could find. If I would be on a sidewalk and I come up to a person, I would say, "Halt, hand me your wallet," and nobody gets hurt. Now show me your boobies. Thank you, sir. And then, you know, it's getting hard to get a job these days. In order to get a job, you have to have experience. But how do you get experience if you don't have a job? So I started robbing banks for a living. And the first bank, my luck, the first bank I went to, I slid a note to the teller and said, "This is a stick-up." The teller read the note and looked at me. You're not going to believe what she said to me, Matt. She was very calm. She looked at me and said, "Sir, do you have a resume?" She goes, "Have you ever robbed a bank before? Do you have any experience? We don't just hand our money to anyone." She said, "Now you go out and rob ATM machines, maybe a few more banks, then come back and we'll see what we can do for you. And sir, next time you rob the bank, please don't use a microphone." And then she reads the note and looks at me and she says, "No, I won't show you my boobies." Then she said, "Well, maybe one." No, I'm kidding. I'm so tired of hearing my jokes. I just thought I'd make you miserable with them. How much more time? 10 minutes?
About 20.
20 minutes?
Yeah, we got some pictures.
Oh, we have some pictures. Let me just see if I forgot any. I did forget some jokes. I did have some jokes. But what else do I have? What other jokes do I have? But they're kind of political. I don't want to do politics. I'm so sick of politics. Aren't you?
Yes.
I just can't stand it anymore. But anyway, but really, the main reason I'm not doing Comics on Parole anyone, I've been doing this show 7 years. 7 years. And I just discovered through doing this show, see, there's a monitor in front here. And on this monitor, I can see I'm developing turkey neck. And once you develop turkey neck, that's when you have to give it up. Plastic surgery. So, turkey neck yet, do you? I do not. No. Once you get turkey neck, it's over. It's just over with. So that's why I'm going to give the show up to Tom Paris, who's actually just a few years younger than me, but he doesn't have a turkey neck. But anyway, but let me explain this to you. We have had some prominent people on this show, and we have young comics that are going places too. So I want to just show some of the photos of the prominent people that have been on this show during the past 7 years. And it's been a joy to do this past 7 years. So the first person we have up here, is that the first picture you got?
First one.
Okay, that's Barry Farber. Barry Farber basically started talk radio in the United States. He really was the first news talk radio type talk show guy, really more kind of conservative talk radio in the country. And his brother is Jerry Farber, who's very well known in the Atlanta area. But Barry Farber, go back to Barry for a minute. So Barry Farber, to my understanding, was the first reporter to go out into Cuba when it became communist. It got taken over by Castro. He also he interviewed every major movie star you could think of. A funny story, but he wasn't fond of movie stars because he doesn't think they're too intellectually deep. But a funny story that his brother Jerry told me, Matt, was one day, Barry had a movie star or a celebrity canceled that was going to come on his radio show. So Barry knew Bob Hope was in town, so he called Bob Hope and said, "I had a cancellation." This is a true story. I read the article. Jerry told it to me. "I had a cancellation on my show. I was wondering if you'd like to come on." And Bob Hope said, What kind of invitation is that? I'm a replacement for someone canceled? Because I'm a celebrity. I'm a star. This is how you ask a star to come on the show? He says, "Why should I come off your show? This is insulting." And Barry Farber said, "It's because it's my birthday." And Bob laughed and came on the show. The Beatles, in fact, sent a recording to Barry Farber's radio station. It was Waltzing Matilda. They sang it. But more than that, he's interviewed every major intellect you can think of, people in politics, people that highly intelligent professors, leaders of countries, governors, politicians. He was a very deep. You should Google Barry Farber. He just passed away a few months ago, and his brother, got to host his last radio show, and he passed away the next day. But he's very esteemed, very intelligent man. Knew 20 different 20 different languages, and he's in the Radio Hall of Fame. So let's go to the next picture. This is Jerry Farber. That's Barry Farber's brother. And Jerry's about 10 years younger than Barry, but Jerry is a national monument in Atlanta. We have the Big Chicken. You know the Big Chicken, right, Matt? Oh, yeah. Got the Big Chicken. We got Home Depot. We got Coca-Cola. We got Stone Mountain. And we have Jerry Farber. He's like a landmark. Jerry tours the country as a comedian. He's discovered a lot of people, given a lot of people their first jobs, like Jeff Foxworthy, Chris Tucker. It's on the tip of my tongue. She had it's on the tip of my tongue. Brett Butler. In fact, Brett Butler, the only place in town that would let her perform, the only person was Jerry Farber, because she was kind of vulgar in her set. So she had the Brett Butler show. It was a national. She lives here now again. So he gave a lot of people. In fact, Brett Butler went on Johnny Carson or Jay Leno and promoted Jerry that she was going to go be performing at Jerry's Club. So Jerry is one of the best known comedians in the Atlanta area, but he does still travel the country at 83 years old. He just did a show last week. And a good friend of ours, good friend of mine, good friend of ours. Let's go to the next picture. This is Bob Goldberg. Bob Goldberg just came on about a month ago. Remember that show? Bob Gold, that's him. He's a comedian and an actor in New York. There he is on Saturday Night Live holding the hand of Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey. And I can't, there's a story, Bob, you'll have to go to this YouTube and find the show, how Bob saved the night doing a skit with Jim Carrey. Something didn't work out right, and Bob saved the night. Bob also has been a lot on Conan O'Brien. He appeared as the largest crybaby in the world on Conan O'Brien. Anyway, real nice guy. Let's go to the next show. That's Bruce Hampton, Colonel Bruce Hampton. Several times. Colonel Bruce Hampton was a musician. He was known as the godfather of music in Nashville. He's also in the movie Sling Blade. He's actually been in 50 other movies, but he's in the movie Sling Blade where they are in a circle, and he says this poem, Osama Ganlabi, or I can't remember the name of it, but he's in a circle with all the stars of the movie, and he says a poem in Sling Blade. John Ritter's in it. And who starred in Sling Blade? What's his name? It's a big star. I can't think of his name. Did you ever see Sling Blade? Yeah. I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. I should have been more prepared. But Colonel Hampton was a really nice guy, and he just passed away about a year or two ago. But really, truly nice man. Bruce Hampton used to see Dick Van Dyke perform here in Atlanta when he was a little boy. When Colonel Hampton, and his uncle would take him to see Dick Van Dyke when Dick Van Dyke was in a comedy club here called the I can't think of the name of it, but on Saturdays they would put on a show, and he paid 50 cents. And Bruce Hampton said his uncle gave Dick Van Dyke his first Cuban cigar. And Dick Van Dyke, I believe, also used to work at WSB. He did the weather and told fairy tales to the children. Let's go to the next one. This is Dave Koenig. Dave Koenig recently came on the show. Dave Koenig has been just recently in Marvelous Miss Maisel. Had a nice little bit in Marvelous Miss Maisel. We showed that clip. He's been in Blue Bloods. He's been, what's that show in the left, down the left, because I can't read it. I can't think of the name of it. Can you read it? Yeah, I can't think of it, but it's a big show. But he's been in a lot of stuff. He's a stand-up comic. He's a Broadway performer, off-Broadway performer, and we were very honored to have. But if you look in the right there, you can see I superimposed his picture there with the Marvelous Miss Maisel actors and actor. We're very honored. Really nice guy. Now he's an artist, makes beautiful paintings. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, that's on the left there. The heavier guy is Gary Cargill. In the middle, Gary Cargill now tours with Darren Knight, Southern Mama on the other side. The guy in the blue shirt is Gary Cargill. I didn't mean to say heavier guy. That's not nice. But the blue shirt is Gary. And on the hat is Darren Knight. Darren Knight was an overnight success, really. He did stand-up with Gary there, and that's Vanessa Ray in the middle. She's been on the show many times. And Darren Knight lost his job as a lost profession detective with Sears. So he went home one day and started doing a YouTube video combination of his mother and his grandmother. And as a Southern mama, like, you pick up those toys or you're going to get a whipping. A agent found him, and now he tours the country. We have a Cobb Energy Center here in Atlanta. It was totally sold out. The lines are out the door. They fill up stadiums. No club is big enough to hold the crowd that women are lined up out the door. It's 80% of the people come to the shows, it's basically the audience, 80% women, come to see Darren. So if you'd like to see some of his clips, Darren Knight in the Hat, go to Darren Knight Southern Mom. You can see him on YouTube. And Gary Cargill, his close friend Gary Cargill, tours with him, opens up for him, performs with him all over the country. So Gary has become very, very successful. That is one of the audiences they were performing for, Matt. That's a big crowd. I couldn't do it. Too much stage fright. I couldn't do it. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's Greg. I'm losing my mind. That's a friend of mine, Greg. Sorry, Greg. I can't. Huh? Greg Lanford. I couldn't remember his name. Greg Lanford. Ral is touring with a huge comic. Her name is Jess Hilarious. I've known Greg since he started doing stand-up comedy, and he's really come a long way. And he's touring now with Jess Hilarious, which is a very, very well-known comedian in the country. He opens up for her. He's very funny. Let's go to the next one. That's Jim Gossages. Jim Gossages came on the show. That was a fun show, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, he came on. Jim Gossett does 150 different voices. He's performed with Jay Leno, a lot of big stars. He's also performed before Congress. And this is an interesting story. Before he performed before all the congressmen, I don't think he was performing in the building where the Congress is, but at a theater. They said, you can make fun of any politician, but do not make fun of Ted Kennedy. And so he did a show, and after the show, they came up to him. Ted Kennedy came up to him, Matt, and said, why didn't you do an impression of me? He said, I was told not to. He was told not to. So anyway, Jim Gossett is a regular on the radio here. He does the Newsmaker line. He's just a very, very big talent in Atlanta. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is Jordan Jackson. I found Jordan Jackson. He had been doing comedy for a while, but he's a very, very big talent. Jordan tours with Country Wayne. Country Wayne is a huge, huge touring star in Atlanta. So Jordan Jackson is doing very, very well. I'm sure things will pick back up after we're done with the corona, and he'll be back on tour again. Let's go to the next one. Oh, that's Mia Jackson. Okay, look closely. See the billboard there in the middle, Matt? That's Mia Jackson. Mia has come on the show. I've known Mia for a number of years, and Mia was scheduled to come on the show, and unfortunately, she was here, and her uncle passed away. So I said, "Why don't you go home?" She was, very upset. So I went to see Amy Schumer perform at the Civic Center, the Atlanta Civic Center, the Energy Center, which was huge and totally sold out. And Mia came out and opened for Amy Schumer, and I actually got a tear in my eye when I saw it. I called her when she got in the green room after she performed. I said, "Would you like to come on Comics on Parole tomorrow night?" She said, "Sure," which I thought was very nice to her. I said, she just opened for a big star. And so she came on the next day. We had a great show. Mia tours the country, and she was touring with Amy Schumer. They're very, very good friends, Amy. So we were very honored to have Mia on the show. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's Mope. That's Mope Williams, I think. Mope. We call him Mope. And let me tell you something about Mope. Mope is on a national TV show. It's called, this is terrible of me, Splash, In and Out Splash. It's a big TV show. In fact, I can look up to see what he's on. But what I wanted to tell you about Mope is he's just so funny. I always thought he might make it big. And I was sitting in the Atlanta Comedy Theater with him, and he sat down right next to me. He had been on the show. He was a great guest on the show. And he sat next down to me, and I said, Mope, Wild and Out. He's on the television show Wild and Out, which is was a national television show. So Mope sat down to me, and I said, Mope, when are you going to be famous? And he got up and left, and the next week I see him on, he probably couldn't talk about it, on this Wild and Out show. Really nice guy. Very funny. Next one. That's Rich Scheidner. And believe me, these these pictures being showed are not in any importance. One's not more important than the other. The order they're in. But is a nationally known comic. He was one of the biggest comics in the 80s. He's been in movies. Roxanne with Steve Martin. He also has a movie out called I Killed, about comedians. He's also touring now with the History of Comedy, a show. We were very honored to have him. He was also on the show Married with Children. He was on the first year Married. Remember that show Married with Children? He was on the first year. He worked with Al in the shoe store. So a very nice guy, highly, highly intelligent, just a great, great comic, and we were honored to have him on. Next one. That's Ricky Muse, my friend Ricky Muse. Ricky Muse is stand-up comic, but he's also in a lot of movies. He's been in 20, 25 movies. He was recently in the movie The Green Book. So if you see The Green Book, he's in the bar scene. He picks up a gun and kicks the bullies out of the bar. But Ricky, this is interesting. Ricky worked at Emory University. He was a sheriff for 25 years. He only got shot at once. And I asked him, why'd your wife shoot at you? But anyway, Ricky was retired, became a security guard at Emory University. They were filming a movie. They came up to him and said, would you like to, he cracked it. He was showing the crew around Emory University, and he said a joke. And the director said, would you like to do a screen test? And he said, yeah, right. What's it going to cost me? He did a screen test, and he's been in, for the last 10, 15 years, been in movie after movie after movie. But the latest one was The Green Book. He's scheduled also to be in a Marvel TV show. I don't have any idea what it's about or what his part is. I'm not allowed to say. If I did know, he'd have to kill me. But he is scheduled to be in a Marvel TV show. Okay, the next one. That's Derek Tucker. Derek Tucker is Chris Tucker's brother. He came on the show. We were big honored to have him come on the show. And very talented guy. He's a comedian and makes movies. But this is a short scene of one of the funniest things we ever did on the show. Play the clip. Matt. By the way, we have a special guest here to see you. Special guest, are you here?
Hey, man. What's up, brother? Hey, that's my brother, man. What's up?
You know what?
I miss you, man.
This fool right here looks just like
so
Chris.
much.
Yeah, I'm on fool before a minute. I was like,
Hey, man. I'm the one with the funny, but he got all the money, man. He got 50, 11 jobs, man.
hey, where y'all find this guy, man?
It's so good to see you, brother. Don't act like that in front of the white man.
Boy, you good. You good.
Hey, let me hold $50.
I got it.
What are you working on these days?
Oh, man, whatever he working on.
Very good.
He got all the money.
In fact, there was a movie. You just told me you were in the movie. What was it called?
Money Talk.
Money Talk.
Yeah.
But he does talk.
No, but he does everything. Producer, writer, artist, man. When he told me about that movie, Jimmy Got a Hat, I thought it was a safe sex movie. He said, no, man. It's a serious piece.
Yeah. Grab a seat. Sit in the middle here.
He look like Chris.
That was one of the funniest things. That was so hilarious. He was waiting outside. He really did think it was Chris Tucker when he heard him outside. Okay, how many more pictures do we have? That's it. Listen, thank you so much for allowing me to do Comics on Parole for 7 years. It was a lot of fun. I was a young man of 15 when I started the show. Now I'm 22. Thank you so much to Mike Aloia. Thank you so much to Matt for allowing me to come into his studio. We will be showing this clip on YouTube or wherever. I don't think it's live right now, but when they have it all put together, and I hope they cut all my jokes out. I didn't do too. I don't know if you were tuning in, but I did some jokes at the beginning. I kind of bombed. I didn't do well, but that's okay. But anyway, thank you again so much for tuning into Comics on Parole. Maybe I'll come on again and we'll do a second Dan Glazer farewell to Comics on Parole show. Thank you. Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer, and this is my co-host, Stacy. Stacy, the hungover. How you doing, Stacy?
What?
Listen.
In the 80s.
No, listen, it was an honor to have you on here. It's really an honor. I want you to stay here. But before, you can play some music, but come over here, Stace. I got a question to ask you.
Okay.
It really was great having you. And you're going to hit it big. You're only 40.
I'm only 39.9.
39.9. Thank you so much.
Thank
but
you.
Stay here. Stay here. One thing I want to say, I had a friend.
Went down the road, and the road was muddy. Stubbed my toe, but my toe was a hurting. 2 bottles of wop bottom, 2 bottles of soap. If you hear, you better holler, Billy Goat. Tail on, hurry on, cause you ain't know where you're going. Tired and tail. Oh, tired, I cry you. Say you're wrong. Be done in a while.
Like every other week.
I don't know, but the bunny wants to join you.
The
The
bunny.
bunny would like to join.
The bunny had a lot of
I
babies.
shoot rabbits.
What?
Who's got jokes? I'm sure it was a good show. I haven't seen it.
Right.
Receiving a standing ovation after only 3 short minutes. He was the only Caucasian on the show in 4 years' history. Do you have any identification proof you're a Caucasian? Anyway, NBC recently flew him to L.A. to compete in the finals of the nationwide talent search Stand Up for Diversity, which showcased the country's 10 freshest comedians at the Comedy Store. His comedic brilliance is topped by only his likability as he gains audience adoration the second he hits the stage. Boy, this is really good what you wrote about yourself.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Right
Over here. Yeah.
Now, are you a communist?
A little bit.
Okay, that's okay. This is open to all people.
I was cleaner on America's Got Talent even. I'm just bitter.
You're bitter. Why?
Because shouldn't I be on TV?
Is this really necessary?
Yeah, listen.
No, yes.
Now, since we're on the subject of Ebola, we might as well talk about why you hate corn chips.
Oh man, corn chips.
Yeah.
You know, I hate corn chips for real, because my uncle, growing up, his feet. Lord have mercy. That man's feet smelled like corn chips, man. You know, and his feet was the devil.
Yeah.
His feet was the devil. And you know what, man? And that's why right now today, you know, I make sure I keep me a can of this right here. You see that? You get that on the camera. You see that there? It's called odor eaters.
Odor eaters.
Yeah, you need your odor eaters. You need your odor eaters. If you got feet and they smell like corn chips, get you some odor eaters.
Yeah, gotcha.
You gotta have.
Welcome back. I would like to welcome to the Parole Desk a guy named Ricky Muse. Ricky has wanted to do a comic, has wanted to be a comic all his life, but he suffered from stage fright. About 4.5 years ago, he moved to Atlanta, got into acting after appearing in the films, stars like with Clint Eastwood and Robert Duvall, and he thought he could overcome stage fright and get on the stage as a comic. So here he is in a live webcast debut, Ricky Muse. Now, listen, how's the wife?
Everybody's good.
Everything's okay now.
Everything's straight.
See, what I've discovered is, do you know what the secret is behind a good marriage? A strong marriage is a big house with an intercom system that doesn't work. And the other day I bought my wife a new dog. It's a little corgi. It's very shaky, and its back leg shakes all the time. So I bought what's called a thunder sweater at PetSmart, and you wrap it around the dog, and it calms him totally down. Became very copacetic, very calm. So my wife was nagging me.
I could use that.
You sure could.
They need to make a big one for men, you know.
That's right. But my wife was nagging me one day. So I got that thunder sweater off my dog, and I wrapped around her real tight, especially around the neck. It worked. It was really good. In movie after movie. But let me also, you were in a movie, is it this movie where you were in another movie, what's her name that sent you the shoes?
Oh, there's a movie with Melissa McCarthy called Tammy. It'll be out next year.
Yeah.
I was in a movie there with her and Susan Sarandon, and while they were doing the turnaround on the cameras, we were backstage talking, and she brought up Crocs, and I told her that I had never had a pair of Crocs. And she was going on about how comfortable they were, and I said, well, they may be comfortable, but they're real dorky looking.
Yeah.
And she said, well, you have to have a pair of Crocs. And about 2 weeks after I finished with the movie, Federal Express delivered a package to me, and I knew I hadn't ordered anything, so I opened it up, and it was a pair of Crocs with a note from Melissa saying, now I've got a pair of Crocs.
Now I'd like to welcome to the Parole Desk a very accomplished comic, been in comedy 20 years, published 3 comedy books, Make Love, Not Warts, 407 Beers Ago, and a funny thing happened on the way to the club. Host of the BTS radio show, appearing this Friday at Jerry Farber's. I want to welcome to the Parole Desk, Brian T. Shirley.
Hey, how you doing,
Brian?
Dan?
How you been?
Oh, good. After the show, you can have your picture with me.
Before we... You were an honor,
do this,
but this is a really big honor.
Don't do this.
I saw this gentleman perform at the Miller Lite stand-up comedy contest last week. The judges, he was a finalist. He won the contest. Hundreds of thousands of dollars he won last year. He actually closed the show this year. Yes. Had thunderous applause. And I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of people in the audience. And Marlon Wayans was one of the judges. So I want to welcome. And this gentleman travels
last year
with.
It was Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. It was Kevin Hart?
He was the judge.
Oh, I did. This gentleman travels with Kevin Hart's Plastic Cups group. He Cup Boys. He also performs at all the improvs around the country and all the major clubs here. All the major clubs. Laughing Skull, Punchline. Blah. Yeah. I want to welcome to the Parole Desk the finest comic gentleman I've ever met.
Oh man!
In the last year, Mr. LeVar Walker.
Man.
He played it on me. Gee.
Pleasure to meet you.
That scared me.
Wait, what's funny about this?
That scared me.
Whoa.
Children.
Free radio. Okay. Yeah. Now, since you're in Atlanta, we'll ask you one of the last questions. What do you think about Atlanta?
What do I think? I love Atlanta. Although I think that Atlanta kind of has an ego problem, Dan.
What's that?
I think Atlanta thinks it's better than the rest of the South.
You better leave town really fast.
Yeah. Well, maybe you need to change your tourism slogan. What is it now? Atlanta, we're better than the rest of the South? Is that what it is?
I guess I'll just go to the beach.
Let me ask you a question. Are you looking for a manager?
I am. But now he's got to be willing to work hard and long hours. Got to be young and energetic.
Right.
And the first thing I'm going to tell him right up front is that I can be a real cougar to work for now.
Okay. Yeah. Does your husband like cougars? Like you being a cougar? Does he mind you being a cougar?
Does he mind me being a cougar? No. He doesn't know that I'm a
cougar. Okay.
Can you cut that out too?
At least in those performances.
You know, I got fired from work the other day. They put out a memo. It was Take Your Children to Work Day. I misread. I thought it said Make Your Children Work Day. I brought them off, dropped them off, went home. They fired me.
Yeah.
But I interviewed for a new job to be a corporate pilot at a major company. During the interview, I said, "What does it pay to be a corporate pilot?" They said, $100,000 a year. I said, "I'll do it for $50,000 a year." They said, "Why so cheap?" I said, "I don't know how to fly a plane." Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer, and we have our special guest here, Mr. Brett Starr, a.k.a. Cat in a Hat.
Yay! Hello, I'm Cat in the Hat.
And he made me dress as Thing 2. What happened to Thing 1?
Thing 1 couldn't make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen.
Narcolepsy, but
I've never read that yet.
Just so you know, Jimmy Kimmel and Ron Jeremy have narcolepsy. So.
No, I read you don't fall asleep while you're driving, or
sometimes.
Do you put it on cruise control? Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer, and right now we have a guest that's been a Facebook friend for a long time, actually. And she's a touring comedian from New York, from the big city of New York City, but grew up in Baltimore. She's been seen on MTV, Fox News, and Amazon. Give it up for Miss Walker Hayes. The soundtrack, the laugh track, the clap track, Matt. We need a clap track. Sorry. What kind of studio is this? This young man, let's post this picture. This young man has been a long time, one of the best in the industry, long-time broadcaster and program for over 30 years. Let's welcome to the Parole Desk, Mr. J.R. Ross of Movie Ticket Radio.
Yay! Excuse me, is this the party to whom I'm speaking?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In the 70s, he an unprecedented six-figure record deal with his band, the Hampton Grease Band, correct? And he continued his career devoting himself to creating pure art rather than attempt commercial successes. This resulted in an amazing, influential 50-year catalog of music and philosophy. He's dubbed the father of jam band scene and is considered the guru in the music industry. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Shake my hand again. Okay, that's enough of the joke. That's the comedy. Now we're getting to the Hollywood South. So what I'd like to do is, well, you come on over here, Gordon. Welcome to the Comics on Parole Hollywood South stage, parole desk, or whatever you want to call it. Mr. Gordon Daniels, he's appeared in many, many films. House of Cards, Grandfather, Fist Fight. Oh, Fist Fight wasn't long ago.
Yeah, right.
They were filming that in Marietta Square with Ice Cube, Ice-T, Ice Cube.
They may have filmed some in Marietta Square, but everything I did was at the high school.
Okay.
The old Roosevelt High School. Yeah.
Game of Life, It's Supernatural, Drop Dead Diva, Hall Pass, great movie. Yep. Epidemic Chronicles, The People vs. Leo Franks, very good movie. Mississippi Dam, The Great Debater, I Surrender All, and more. Mr. Gordon Daniels is also a singer. He's also a very, very accomplished singer.
All right, grab your warhead.
Okay.
All right, so get ready to pop it in your mouth, and then we'll ask
take candy
the first question. Perfectly wrapped, it's okay.
Oh, my whole mouth is tingling before I even started.
All right, now pop it in. Now, what was your big break, and how did you deal with all of the attention?
Oh.
Try your hardest to answer.
Overly attached girlfriend. It was great. It was fine. It was overwhelming, but it was good.
Can you do the face?
Daryl, first of all, is here primarily to promote a CD. Whenever Daryl gets a new CD, his last one was Teenagers and Heat.
Right. That's the one that went double plywood.
It's very good. It's really good. It's a lot of fun, that album.
Yeah, it did real well in the Jonesboro Forest Park East Point Triangle. Yeah, it's something.
Daryl's also a stand-up.
Well, let me tell you something. You know what? I mean, people talk about my stand-up, but the truth of the matter is, I think we've gone as far as we can go with comedy.
Yes.
I mean, some people do this or that. I have started a new concept, tragedy clubs.
Tragedy club.
And it's going to be called Happy Endings.
Oh, really? I saw your set. I realized I think your comedy has reached the next level. I said, what's that? He goes, retirement.
Retirement, yeah.
And then he said, Dan, I said, well, I've been thinking about quitting comedy anyway. And he said, how can you quit something you never started?
Nah.
And then he said, Dan, really, honestly, there's a place I'm sure there's a place in comedy for you. And I said, where's that? He goes, sitting in the audience.
Yes.
Facelift since then. Yeah, he's had some face work done. All of the stars get our work done. And
Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer. How you doing, Matt?
Good.
You doing good? Hey, Matt, I want to tell you, I asked my wife the other day, I says, does writing new jokes hurt my stand-up? She said, no, but telling them does. And, she put me on a diet the other day.
Yeah.
The diet is you can't eat any meal bigger than the palm of your hand. But it turned out to be a bunch of hooey because I bought some of those little crystal sandwiches that fit right in the palm of your hand.
Right.
I ate 15 of them and I still gained. So anyway, that's the jokes for today.
What is good?
Being a puppet, I bet it's not hard to get an erection. It's probably not hard to get stiff, right?
Welcome to Comics on Parole.
Trying to be clean here, but I have to say. Let's go get Dennis. Dennis Aloia is a very well-known magician here in Atlanta. He's also going to be having his own show next Tuesday, right?
That's right.
And what's the name? That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
You talking to me?
That's enough. No.
Oh, okay.
He's going to have his own show next week. Called what?
It's. Wait a minute.
We only have 30 minutes here.
I'm having
Keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. That's right.
Okay, right now. We have a few minutes left here. What should the subject be? Crystals, poop, or Taco Bell?
Come on, Mike. Give us something.
Give us a topic for her to sing about.
This could be my...
Okay, this is Mike's future ex-wife. Okay, I turn it over to Blue and Stacy.
All right, Blue, you ready? Give me something. Okay.
I can be ready.
We're ready.
We're ready?
Future ex-wife.
Future ex-wife, here
Yeah.
we go. Let's give you some.
You see, when we were younger, we got together. We had some times. They were pretty good, not the best I've ever had, but they were alright, I like it just fine. And then later, we got married and we had some kids together. Not with other people, because we were married and that's not very cool. But you see, after a while, we take time and we talk and we get together and we fight and and then we talk, and then we go to counseling, and then I get really upset with cream, and get kind of fat, and then you tell me you want a divorce. You tell me you want a divorce, but that's not right, just 'cause I'm fat. I don't understand, we were doing just fine, you're going bald. We're not really friends anymore, but it's okay. We've got some kids, they gotta go to college, I guess. But let's just talk for a second. Don't be rash. I want to keep the house, and the dog, and the car. Really, all you get to keep is a little bit of your dignity, but a little. 'Cause I'm gonna take it all in court, 'cause I'm the mom and we're in the South and I get everything. You see, that's just how it works just fine. And then when you look at things when we're a little bit older, you're gonna get upset and cry alone, because now you're bald. You're still going bald and you're ugly, and I hope that you die in a car crash, but not really. Well, maybe a little. But I think that it'd be great if we just talked over some coffee. I think it'd be fine. I'm gonna get remarried. I'm gonna do a lot of things I can't say on the show to that other guy. And before you know it, we're gonna post it on YouTube, and I'm gonna become an internet sensation, and I'm gonna make more money than you've ever made in your life and ever will, and I think that that will be the best time ever.
I got it. Let me pull out a case full of toys here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to make sure I've got enough room here. So
Yeah.
let me just check things. We got room here. We got room here. We got room back over this way.
Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer. Hi, Al.
What's up?
We have a big show here tonight. This is a very, very huge honor. This young man, has been on Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, David Letterman, just wrote for Jack Foxworthy, Roseanne Barr. He did the documentary I Am Comic. He was on the movie Roxanne, and much more to even mention in one sentence. Welcome to the Parole Desk, Mr. Rich Scheidner.
Thank you.
How are
Thank
you,
you,
Rich?
Dan.
How are
Thank
you?
you.
It is a really big honor, and I said to you, there's so much to cover, I don't know where to start, so let's start in 1952 when you were born. Let's go from there.
That's right. And it goes like this. M-I-C-K-Y gel S-P-O-U-S-E Mickey spouse. Mickey spouse. Just Mickey your spouse. Mickey your spouse. That's right, Christian. Hell, man, whatever it might take to knock her out. Bam!
So you remember about 10 years ago when you were at a bar and you met this really hot chick and she wanted to hump you like a pogo stick, and about that time you decided, hey, I'm going to be a man of high moral character. In other words, you were being a dumbass. Then 10 years later you're sitting at home and your wife's in the kitchen and she weighs 40 pounds more than she did on your wedding night, and she's yelling at you because you forgot to take out the trash. And then it dawns on you, wow, if I'm ever going to have sex with a woman that looks like that again, I'm going to have to pay for it.
Last time somebody mentioned wooden heads. Never mind. I got a wooden head. No, okay. What the hell are we singing? All of me. Yeah, I know a song. It's smart ass buddy. The step on the few laughs you get around here. Oh, all of me. Okay. You have to forgive us, folks. We've rehearsed so much here. Yeah. All of me. Why not take all? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Take my wooden head, take my arms, I'll not refuse them. Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart. So why not
Take all of me.
Tavius Elder.
From jokes come from something true. Am I wrong? Something true. And I was at Home Depot this weekend, and I went up to a lady that was in her late 60s and very hard of hearing. And I said to her, I said, was that really necessary? I said to her, I said, can you tell me where the stud finders are? She said, yeah, I find a lot of studs walk through this place. There's a honey right now. I'll be right back. Okay, that's joke number 2. Let's start mark that off the list. Okay. Then this is another true story. I was at the Apple store this weekend having my laptop was broken, actually. So I had to make a decision. Do I buy a new iWatch or buy a Mac laptop? And I decided to buy the Mac laptop because I found a watch band big enough to fit it.
Now, the other thing is that somewhere on one of those two pictures is a number.
Yes.
Okay. How many digits does that number have? Kind of.
There are 4 numbers.
4 numbers. Okay. And the picture, is there an airplane involved in this?
Yes.
What's the number?
The number is 7077.
7077.
That's it.
There you have it.
That's it. Wow. Well, there you go.
There you go.
A lot of young, talented comedians and actors around here, and we shot 1, 2, and 3, and over like 3 years. And
Wait, you can't. No, not yet.
Mr. Jay Glazer.
Okay.
Hello, how are you?
Show us moving.
Yeah.
Hello.
I love it. Who
Hello,
is this
yes,
guy
Mr. Pierre.
Yes,
I heard much about you.
I appreciate it. Oh,
I'm so happy to be here.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, comedian Edwards.
Yeah,
right?
well, that works.
Oh, I want to be on Survivor in Afghanistan with you.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Dan. I love you so much.
I gotta show his movie.
Yes. I wanted to tell you, do you like Motown?
A lot of it, yeah.
Yes, we can go in the desert and boogie with my camel to some Michael Jackson and do the moonwalk.
Okay.
Would you like that, Mr. Pierre?
Yes. Is there prison door open or?
I don't know. I'm on work release.
I think you're on the wrong show. You're supposed to be on Al Jazeera or something. You're supposed to be on Al Jazeera. You're in the wrong studio.
Well, anyway, I was wondering, Mr. Pierre, I have a problem with my belly.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it gives me gas. I have a bubble inside it.
Okay.
And I need a bubble-otomy.
Really?
Yes, I'm starting to feel something.
No. Wow.
It gives me gas. I need to have.
Well, what happened over there?
Oh, my God. That was a flaming one. Okay, I see you later. I got to go see a doctor. Goodbye.
Thank you. You need a psychiatrist.
I'm guessing.
I think we got another guest.
Dan, I just got in, right? The Batmobile barely made it. Who's your friend here?
Hey, I'm Matt.
Hey, I'm Batman of Jackson. I'm on American Hearts Radio, right, on Saturday mornings. I'm telling you, Dan, what you doing?
Well, let me ask you, okay, tell us about your show. What's on your show?
I bring you vintage cartoons, right? That's the stuff that everybody likes. You know, Popeye, right? Baby Huey, right?
Oh, I like Baby Huey.
Oh, Betty Boop. You know you like that one,
What's your
Dan.
favorite cartoon, Matt?
Oh, man.
You're too young to
South
remember
Park,
the good. You're too. South Park. You don't remember the visual.
South Park. I'll put that one on the list, right? Just after Foghorn Leghorn, don't you think?
By the way, Batman does not have a mustache.
Oh, a lot of my followers don't believe that.
I'm never going to get
Be
over
more
racism.
accepting of people.
Hey, I made a first step. I'm working with Mike Ben, and you know, he's giving me a room to do what I do, and that's what's important. He lets me be me.
That's right. 90211.
Right.
You know, Al often sees me do the show, and he says, Dan, you know, I want to give you a little advice. You talk too quickly between jokes. And what I would like to do next time you're on camera or on stage, Al said, I'd like you to bring a bottle of water up here, and every time you tell a joke and you hear a laugh, you should take a drink of water to slow down, but don't take a drink of water until you hear a laugh. I said, Al, if I have to wait to hear a laugh, I'm going to end up dying of thirst. Thirst. His wife said the audience too. So, okay, Ricky, this segment of the show, because Ricky's probably been on the show more than anyone else. This segment of the show is called "Keeping Up with Ricky," because Ricky is a very talented actor. He's been in a number of movies. He's been in the most recent movie that came out was Tammy, with Melissa McCarthy
and Susan
Sarandon. And Melissa McCarthy gave you some Crocs.
Yeah. She wears Crocs all through the movie, and then one of the downtimes we were talking, and she asked me how I like Crocs, and I told him I've never had a pair. She said, but you have to have some because they're so comfortable. And I said, well, they may be comfortable, but they're dorky looking.
Right.
About 3 weeks after I was finished with the production, Federal Express brought a package to my house, and it was a pair of Crocs.
Oh, yeah, that was very nice.
From Melissa.
My tooth. Can you zoom in? Can you see me now? Why do people think the best time to eat their boogers is when they in the car at the red light by themselves? You ever notice that? But what don't you see? You don't see me looking at you. I'll be at the red light. I'll be like, la, she ate that booger. She ate that booger. You see her in the grocery store, you be like, there go the person that ate that booger at the light. There go the person that ate that booger at the light.
Thank you. Okay, at night right now we'll welcome to the stage or the our tonight's anime, Vanessa the DJ. She's dressed as an anime.
That would be me. Well, actually, no, I'm a Cheshire Cat because, you know,
Cheshire Cat does not wear a blonde pink wig.
It's not blonde, it's pink. So there we go.
What did you dress like for Comic Con? Comic Con.
Nice one.
You dressed like this for Comic Con, right?
No, I did not dress like this for Comic Con. Nope. I just dressed like this to come on Comic Con.
Okay. Okay.
So, see how lucky they are.
Make your announcements. Now I want to welcome to stage a young, very talented young comic who performs all over town. Give it up for Mr. Marlon Ballard. How you doing, Marlon?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Marlon could not wait to get on TV. He came here last night. He called me, Dan, I'm at the studio.
He said Monday. I got here. It was one car out there. I was like, maybe he's up there. Maybe
the directions were on but the time was on the poster, but it was my fault. Before we get started, I'd just like to, Al, did you know that last week the Comics on Parole received 1,000 likes on Facebook? Really? I just wish my mom would find something else better to do. Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer, and you're not. How are you, Al?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, I did.
You did? Did you eat a lot?
Yes, I did.
You know, I just wanted to tell you, we'll just say a few Dan's Facebook jokes. The other day, 50-year Atlanta comic veteran Jerry Farber told me, Dan, it's time for you to take your comedy on the road. I said, really, Jerry, you think my jokes are ready? He goes, no, it's just time for you to hit the road. Well, yeah, Mr. Eagle, what do you feel about Donald Trump? I'm curious.
Well, I got his hairdo, see? I'm the bald eagle with a comb over.
But y'all don't see behind the scenes of what us comedians go through. It's just bad, man. We get stopped for anything. Like one time I was driving down through Stopper, brother, Mississippi. I got stopped for anything. My license was good. My tags was good. I don't drink and drive. One time I got stopped for a check engine light.
Waka.
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay.
You know, you heard of him before.
Who?
Bernie Mac?
Oh, yeah, do Bernie Mac.
No, man. It's Chris Tucker, man. Show me some respect. I got on a blazer, man. Ask your questions.
Okay. Did you take your wife?
No, it's just me.
Okay, Al travels with the SOS band and Brick, correct?
Sometimes.
You know, Al, I make it a New Year's resolution to never make the same makes I made last year.
The same what?
The same mistakes I made last year.
All right.
I like to make new ones. It's always more exciting. Okay.
Fix that. You got
It's for the only one I see. So very, very extraordinary. Is even more than anyone that you adore and love.
Jacques Cousteau.
Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game. for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
How's everybody doing? Oh, thank y'all. Y'all been wonderful. Almost,
Vanessa Ray. She's here performing for you right now.
Yes, right. Vanessa Ray. Yes, yes. Tell you, I almost didn't make it. You know, I got almost got arrested for drug abuse. Accidentally flipped my joint right out the window. Yep, in front of a Cobb County cop, and they gave me a ticket for improper use of Mary Jane. Get it? Ha ha. At least you got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I tell you, getting older has been kind of rough. You know, I'm suffering from OPS, old people sex.
OPS?
Old people sex, Dan. Your wife knows all about that.
Look out, here it comes, the blazing sun. Boom, boom, bang, bang, look out, here it comes now, that blazing sun. Despite the myths contrary to unclean animals, the woman wears cameos to impress the tourist.
I challenged my inner Miley Cyrus, and I was just going, when all of a sudden, my ass broke. I didn't even know you could break your ass.
What the hell's a Hyundai Tucson? I go, do you mean Tucson? She said, Tucson? Is that how you say it? I'm like, yeah. She goes, what's a Tucson? I was like, oh my God. It's a city in Arizona. It's right next to Phonics. Which she needs to get hooked on. And then she was like, huh? Give me the keys to the Tucson. I'm glad it wasn't a Buick Rendezvous. Because we'd still be there, man.
That's right.
Buick Rendezvous. It's ridiculous, man.
I was hoping there'd be nudity.
That you would, nudity.
Nudity? Well, we can fix that problem.
Would you do a nude scene if you had to?
If they could hide my stomach.
That's your new sponsor. After the show. But Rodney, the other day I was fooling around my wife. Woke up the next morning, she said, "Ding, I just want you to know I was not faking it last night." I said, "Really?" She goes, "No, I really did fall asleep."
Wow.
But that's your new sponsor. After the show. But Rodney, the other day I was fooling around my wife. Woke up the next morning, she said, "Ding, and I just want you to know I was not faking it last night." I said, "Really?" She goes, "No, I really did fall asleep."
Wow.
But the erection. And a friend of mine called me today. He said, "Dan, my teenage son said, 'Dad, I got my girlfriend pregnant. Mom is going to kill me. Could you tell her you did it?'"
No, but just so I wouldn't show up to play the coaches, they put me on the skins team. But I came anyways. They're like, "You're naked," and I'm like, "No, it's just a blouse. The spots are just smaller."
I see some bologna in there. $9. I'm not gonna eat no $9 bologna. You don't eat $9 bologna. What's that, unicorn meat? What is that? $9 bologna? You don't even, you make a sandwich, fold up and put it in your pocket and show it to people. Hey, look what I got. I got a $9 bologna sandwich. It's a collector's item. You don't eat $9 bologna.
Oh, one.
That's
okay.
right.
Because we see them girls around here, they getting treated all kinds of terrible, ain't
That's
they?
right.
So we're going to tell them how to get and keep
a man.
A man.
man.
That's
Okay,
right.
okay,
That's how
okay.
we gonna do that.
Well, let's start it off. How you want to start off? We want to talk about when we courting.
Yeah, that's when we was
That's
courting.
what we call it back in the
That's
day.
what we call it back in the day.
They say dating today, but we call it courting.
I think it's prostitution. That's like
That's what they be doing today. They be selling all kind of body parts, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that. So you know, back in the day, the men folks would call us up on the phone.
That's right.
And try to get to know us.
That's right.
But nowadays they just text and
snappity chat.
Snappity chat, and they put their books in the face.
That's right.
Is that what they do?
And that Pandora and that YouTube.
And the boob tube and the YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. And they expect you to, how you get to know me if all you do is text words to me all day long? I don't never hear your voice.
They serial killers.
You could sound like Mike Tyson, and you know what I mean? I need to hear your voice.
That's right. See, they used to come and talk to your mom and your daddy and get permission to take you down to the Mint Shack diner. But nowadays, they holler for you, they whistle for you, and then you got to jump in the car while it's rolling.
While it's rolling when they coming by.
Yeah, when they come by to pick you up. You know what I'm saying? You got to jump in now and everything like that. Don't make no sense at all.
And then on top of that, baby, they don't really want to take you nowhere. They always talking about going somewhere and Netflix and chilling.
That's right.
Well, I heard that chilling wasn't just chilling.
It's sanctification. That's right. Sanctification.
And we're going to sprinkle some oil on all these women and get them sanctified.
That's right.
It don't make no sense, baby. It don't
and then
make
the clothes they wear, sister, the clothes they wear. Oh, child. They dress like that Kim Kardashian. Oh, I'm sorry. Kardashian. That's right. They dress like a
roses.
Yes, that's right.
Ooh, girl, they had that big old bitties hanging all
so
over the place.
It's so terrible.
Did you see Kim on that magazine?
Yes.
Her butt looked like 2 rolls from Ryan's, just all greasy on top of that magazine.
That's right.
I seen it. I know over when I seen it. It was the devil.
It's the devil, child.
It was the devil.
I know what her behind looked like more than I look like mine. You know what I'm saying? I can see her. I don't know what mine look like.
The other day, Al, I went to the pharmacist, and I asked him for a pharmaceutical patch for the Zika mosquito. Okay. And he said, asked him if they had a pharmaceutical patch for the Zika mosquito. And he said no, because they can't make one small enough to fit on their little legs.
Shoes. I mean, come on. And the purses nowadays, people, $500, $5,000 for a purse? Y'all know y'all ain't got no money in that purse. Y'all toting an expired driver's license, a credit card don't have any credit on it, and a couple of chapsticks from the dollar store, and a $5,000 purse. Come on, girls.
But you know, it's very difficult to decide who to vote for, because I just read Hillary's given away a solar-powered calculator with each vote, and Donald's given away a travel alarm clock. 2 wonderful gifts, very hard to choose from.
Except for Trey.
Oh, really? We thought it was a publicity thing. But, you know, he's serious about building that wall, because I just saw one of his trucks pass through Atlanta on the way to the border, and it was filled with Legos. You're supposed to laugh.
Yeah, this is a real story. This is a real story. I said, man, doing different things in my life. I ran across a homeless dude the other day. The other day, he was holding up a sign. Matter of fact, he was wearing Louis Vuitton, and he was holding up a sign that said, "I accept PayPal." True story. So I was curious, so I went over there with $1, and I said, "Here you go, brother. God bless you." He said, "Nah, man, I only do 5s and 10s." I said, "Dude, you're homeless." He said, "I know, but I'm a homeless with class." So then, I BS you not. We're sitting there arguing with each other downtown, right down Spring Street. Out of nowhere, he pulls out an iPhone 6 and said, "Follow me on Instagram, homie."
To the parole desk, a gentleman by the name of Drop Too Heavy. How
Hey,
are you doing, Drop Too Heavy? How you doing?
Good to meet you there, Danny. Oh, I heard so much about you. I've been wanting to be on your show, man.
Really?
Yeah, man, it's going to be my debut.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about yourself.
Well, all my life, I lived up in the hills up there by the North Carolina-Georgia border.
Right.
Making moonshine, just like my daddy taught me.
Right.
My daddy married his sister, but it didn't really affect me that much, except for this webbing in between my toes. Now, I can swim like an otter, but I can't put on flip-flops to save my life.
You're still in the show. Okay. Did you like my song? I don't think anyone liked my song.
I thought it was great.
Okay, good. So how are you doing, Dr. Neal?
I'm doing great.
We have really very serious business to talk about.
It's $50.
Put it on my... Well, I don't have any insurance
you have
anymore.
Obamacare?
Huh?
Obamacare?
No, I'm with Humana.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I'm with
Well,
Humana.
give me your...
A very well-known comic who's performed with James Brown, Dr. Demento. Songs have been heard on Dr. Demento, and his name is in Wikipedia. Give it up for Mr. Daryl Rhodes.
Should I do like they do on TV when they come out and they always go...
There's no. I don't know who they're doing that to, but I should practice that.
How you doing, Daryl?
I keep getting better. How about yourself?
Daryl, you know, I'm 57. You look 57, but you don't tell people your age, right?
I've always looked 57.
You look 57.
Yeah,
but you look young. You look very young.
When I was a little girl, I looked 57.
Girl, would you be with me? My saber tooth, I'd love to be your taste of youth.
Wash me down with Metamucil, baby.
I'd like to explain right now, actually, I want to thank everybody in the studio for not mentioning what we did. You don't remember this. We hypnotized you, yes. And when you were under hypnosis, I went like this. I went, pick me, pick me, pick me. See, you don't remember that. You were deep under hypnosis. I don't even think you remember the ketchup. It's a magic show. Calm down. You can get me back now. Go ahead. Thank you. It's my favorite.
It's a string.
Yes, it is. It's pretend ketchup. Oh, thank goodness. All right. Actually, the 8 of Hearts is my favorite card of all time. I keep one in my pocket with me all the time. Right here, there it is, the 8 of Hearts. Isn't that weird?
No, it's not.
What? That's the 8 of Hearts. Oh, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 of Hearts. The one you thought of in your mind. Amazing. You are amazing. You're so dope.
Yes. I went and saw it. And there's a part in that movie to where a guy is snorkeling trying to find out what caused the big hole in a boat.
Right.
And this disembodied head floats by.
Yeah, I remember scared the crap out of me.
That freaked me out.
Yes.
And to this day, whenever a disembodied head floats by, I still get freaked out.
Great.
Hello, Cindy. Oh, she's wearing green. She's invisible.
I was
Let me give you my jacket.
Oh, my, that's fabulous.
She's an invisible woman.
I know. What are you going to say? I was going to say.
You know, I mean, if you're in the music or comedy, or if you're in entertainment, you're like, you know, you're chosen to do it. I'm basically a very shy insurance salesman who had an altered destiny. But I've got one problem to fix the United States.
What's that?
We got to get cosmonauts and get rid of astronauts.
Okay, explain. Oh,
yes,
explain that.
Cosmonauts, they control the central codes, you know, A511, B, and 8. It's all right. You'll learn about it soon.
I think you lost me. Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? I'm going to line up for that one. I'm going to get my 15 minutes of fame. It's To Catch a Predator. And I'm going to line up. I'm going to get my 15 minutes of fame.
You're going to get yours?
Yeah, I'm going to get yours. I may not be here anymore. I may be arrested, but I'm going to get on that show.
I'll come visit you, man.
Very good, very good.
I'm worried about you and your wife.
Well, you've been.
My wife, I'm good.
Okay. Well, you've been. I tried to make it up to her. I thought I'd make it up to her, so I took her on a weekend cruise. A weekend cruise because of you.
Okay.
But our ship got taken over by Somalian pirates. And in Somalia, it's a very poverty-stricken country. These pirates are like heroes to these people.
Right.
But I got to tell you, those guys are nice fellas.
Really?
They got on the ship, and they said, "We are taking over your ship. Don't be alarmed. You'll be fine. We just want your wallets, your jewelry, and your wives." And I said, "Do I got to hand you my wallet and my jewelry?" "Yes, you must hand us your wallet, your jewelry, and your wives." I said, "Well, why do I got to hand you my wife?" "Because we hold her ransom. Once you pay the ransom, we set her free." And I said, "Is that payment plan optional?"
This is a song actually played here before, played on the TV show. And this is on my new CD, and the new CD has a bunch of great musicians on it. But this is kind of a home improvement song, so I'm going to do this for you, and I hope the kids like it out there, all right? When there's wood to drill and there's cracks to fill, the only thing real that can seal the deal is caulk. She's looking for caulk. When there's a problem, she knows where to go. Take a trip to Lowe's or Home Depot. Walking down the aisle looking for a man with a smile on his face, 'cause in his hand is caulk. He's holding caulk. You can put it in the window, you can stick it in the door, you can shoot it in the ceiling, you can slap it on the floor. Looks like cream but feels like paste. If you gawk when you caulk, you can get it on your face. Yeah, caulk. Yeah, caulk. Let's rock! You can seal a joint or fill a gap for your protection. Comes with a cap, cause it might leak and get on your hand, and nobody wants a messy caulk man. To get caulk hard, it might take time. Maybe your caulk, but not for mine. Women, they love to talk. Sometimes they just want caulk. They want caulk. They're looking for caulk. You can use a smaller, larger tube. Size doesn't matter if it fits the groove. Every girl I've met that really rocks know what to do when she's holding caulk. Yeah, caulk. Yeah, caulk, dude! Yeah, caulk, dude! Caulk! Yeah!
Wife, she's here actually. She's in the crowd.
Hello, wife.
So I can't say any jokes about her.
No, you can't.
But the one thing I like, do you ever notice as you get, I'm older than you, but as you get older, it's getting harder and harder to get out of the car. It's a struggle for me.
What kind of car you got?
I don't know. It's just a struggle. It gets harder and harder. Like today, I was trying to get, felt like it took me 2-3 minutes to get out of the car. It was a real struggle. So it would help if I remembered to unbuckle the seatbelt. But that's a good thing about Alzheimer's. You meet new people every day.
Or get a longer seatbelt.
Well, it's a ukulele, and of course, you know I'm better at sousaphone. Here we go.
Okay.
Don't be kind to waste your time on assholes. They'll say things just to bring you down. Joy is something they can only read about. And that's one thing you can live without. Assholes driving your car, you won't get far, there's an asshole. He'll cut you off cause that's what assholes do. Traffic's backed up way behind. There's nothing on his mind, just an asshole without a clue. Everybody.